So let's start, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, Akhi, just to give you an update. So, Hussam, myself, and Muhammad Kasmani, we met over the weekend to discuss the scheduling idea that Hussam had. The reason why we had to meet was also to understand how it would impact our, product ideas, an organizational perspective, our revenues, and different things like that in the future.
Okay.
So we had a meeting on Sunday as well with, sorry, not Sunday, Saturday, yesterday, with our Tanzil Shura team as well to quickly discuss over.
MashaAllah.
And so, alhamdulillah, we've come to a conclusion. However, we don't have the final text for the user story ready yet. I was working on the document, and I can share with you the link so the document's been growing because, well, I guess we're now bringing forward some things. So for example, the course manager was something that was supposed to be done after a while, not now. But if we were to implement Husam's idea,
Hello, I'm not able to hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I can hear you.
So I was saying that if we were to implement Husam's idea, we might have to do the course manager or part of it now so that we can implement it properly instead of doing it later. So that's why. So this document you can review, inshallah, at some point. It's a working document. I've done some work on it today, and I'm hoping, inshallah, tomorrow Hussam and I are meeting going to discuss, and hopefully tomorrow night we'll be ready to have a final conversation with you, inshallah.
Okay.
And then from there, based on your input, then we'll adjust it accordingly.
Sure.
Another thing that I did over the weekend is there are a few pending items on my shoulders from previous meetings that were not updated and things like that. So I had a meeting with the team that to decide some of those things, and I created a user story on Jira as a result. Number 173. It's called Miscellaneous Business Rules, and so I wanted to kind of discuss that and also discuss the emails that were going back and forth about parent and child account, if that's okay with you.
Of course, fine, inshallah. Yeah, I also like to hear the impact of what you guys decided, just at a high level, not too much in detail. So it's just I want to understand the high level. If you can able to explain a little bit of the high level, what is the new change? I mean, like what is it changing and what is the impact on the system? Just to understand from the concept level.
Basically,
please go ahead.
On the system level, it's not a big change, but I think the way you structure the database, there has to be some change, right? So basically, the idea Hussam had is to give an example. Let's say I am a teacher with Tanzil, and I'm available. My schedule shift is 9 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Right? Now, in that hour, in that 9 to 5, it doesn't matter who I teach as a student. If the student is someone who takes an hour-long class or 15 minutes long class or 30-minute long class, it doesn't matter. Like, I should be able to teach anyone and everyone, basically. So instead of my time 9 to 5 being just fixed for one course, for example, let's say the 1-hour course, the idea that Hussam has is my time being opened up and being a flexible schedule builder based on the course. So for example, at the same time, Tanzil could offer multiple courses. Another course could be 30-minute long course, let's say recitation only, some people studying the Tajweed only, for example. Or there could be
Okay.
another type of course, which is, let's say, a 15-minute drop-in course. So these are basically courses that, I don't know if you remember, some time ago, a few months back, we had discussed different products and courses,
Yes,
and we
yes,
had
correct.
a
Yes, yes,
document.
sir. Yes, of course, sir.
So
Of course,
these
I
are
agree.
all within the same type of courses that we had discussed. However, saying is, instead of creating separate schedules for each of these courses, what we do is we create one kind of schedule. If it's the product is based on time and it has the same kind of properties, the course has similar properties. So the similar properties of a course could be, the time, or one-to-one, for example. If it's one-to-group, one-to-many, then maybe we do a different schedule, or something else, right? But the idea is, let's say, schedule when I'm teaching 9 to 5, let's say 9 to 12 I have students, but 12 to 1 and 1 to 2 I don't have any students, right? Um, but what if there is a student who wants to take, let's say, who is looking at the schedule, and he wants to take a half an hour class or a 15-minute drop-in class, right? Um,
Yeah.
in between that, right? Now, instead of me, so our previous idea was, me as a teacher, I would only teach one-to-one 1 hour classes. I will not teach the 30-minute class or 15-minute classes, for example. Organizationally,
Correct.
that was the idea.
Correct.
However, what Hussam is saying, no, this is not efficient for you, because you will have teachers who are sitting empty with sometimes, and then you might have other students who are looking for similar teachers, but they want shorter class times. So utilization and efficiency wise, it's not the most efficient way of doing things.
Okay.
Right? And so that's why we had a discussion with the team members, and we thought, you know what, this is a good idea if we could implement it. That, let's say, when I have free time, or my times are, let's say, available, if a student is coming to the system through a course link where it's a 15-minute class or a 30-minute class, then the intervals that they see, my availability is in 30 minutes or 15 minutes interval. If the student is coming to the system through 1 hour class, for example, then the interval that they see is in 1 hour intervals,
Okay.
right? The available times, right? So resource, the timing is basically something that becomes elastic, or it becomes flexible based on what the user is coming for. The schedule accordingly. So let's say if I'm one of the ideas for the product we had is a drop-in class, which is basically, sometimes it's like a gym membership model, right? So you buy like a gym membership, and you can
Okay.
go to the gym for half an hour 3 times a week. Now this half an hour could vary. This week it could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Next week could be something else, depending on your availability. But you pay for the system, saying that you'll only pay to come in 3 times a week, and each time you come in is 30 minutes long only, maximum, right? You cannot do more than.
Okay.
So now what I do is I pay, and then I go into the system, and then I schedule for my this week's classes, right? And when I go to schedule the classes, the availabilities that I see are in 30 minutes interval, for example, because that's the package I bought, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um, so that's one product idea that we had, right? The other product ideas that we have are the half an hour or the hourly ones, which is similar to what you're doing right now, which is a student comes in and it's the same time every week, that they schedule and all that, right? So that's the other model. So what Hussam is saying is that combine the two into one schedule for the teacher. So teacher Tanvir can teach all 3 different courses, right? Students can book them, and whoever books whatever gets utilized. And this way you basically try to maximize the teacher's time and availability, and benefit also more students, because not all the people, like we have sometimes, a lot of the parents come, especially in the Indian Pakistani parents, they're like, oh, I just want 30 minutes, although we don't prefer it, but sometimes we lose students because of that. Parents are very strong. They're like, oh, I don't want my children to learn any meanings of the Quran or anything. I just want them to learn to read, or memorize some surahs and something like that. Not something ideal for us, but there is a big market for it.
Okay.
If we can benefit those students, right, it is still better for us to benefit them other than not to benefit them, right? So we may be offering courses like that. The drop-in one is basically for like more advanced students. Generally, let's say you're doing HIFs, right? But it's important to have a teacher, right? Because you can check with the teacher can motivate you and all that. So you just want to do like a 15-minute drop-in class once a week, twice a week with the teacher to see, for them to check your memorization, for them to help you and motivate you to do more memorization. So that's another model. It's like a personal trainer kind of model where someone is
Okay.
stuck. They have studied before, but then they forgot some rules and things like that, and they want just to refresh teacher, right? So it gives the flexibility into that for us to be able to
Hello, I'm not able to hear you.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Based on what funnel or what channel this student is coming from.
No, actually, yeah, your voice is cutting off. Yeah, I can hear you sometimes. Sometimes I'm not able. I don't know why.
Okay.
Sorry for that. I don't know. If you want,
No,
I
no,
can change. Yeah, if you want, I can
it's
switch my
not.
internet and see. I don't know your
No,
end,
no,
my end.
it's probably mine because I can hear you clearly. So there, I don't
Okay,
think there's.
okay. I don't know. Yeah, you can continue speaking, but let me see. You see, I missed a few minutes already.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but okay. Let me recap. Let me recap what I understood. Hello.
Yes.
So basically, what I understood is at the teacher's point of view, basically from the teacher's side, basically the teacher will only block a time. Basically, they will schedule a block of time each weekday, right? Each weekday. They will not right. They will not. They will just they will not. They will actually configure a block of time. That's what I understood from the teacher point of view. And from the student, what I understood is allowing them to select before they have been shown the time slot. You're going to allow them to select some kind of products or something, which is like half an hour based or 1 hour based, whatever that is, right? And basically based on that selections, you will let them choose the available slot. Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
So, mashallah, you got half of it right. So,
Okay.
in terms of students being able to select, right now when students come, they come and then they go on to
Right.
the profile section and they go on to scheduling section.
Right.
But we'll have parallel systems like that, like as in parallel processes like that for different products. So it's not all the products are not going to come through the same gateway.
Correct. 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 Right.
There'll be
Exactly.
multiple gateways. So if I'm coming from the gateway of 30-minute classes, then once I make an account, the system takes me and then shows me 30-minute schedule. I don't make the decision after I make the account. I make the decision before I make the account.
Oh, okay. 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 I understand. Okay.
On where the student is coming from, the login after they make an account, they go into that. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes. 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 Makes sense. Makes sense.
So right
Yeah.
now
Actually,
the
yeah.
flow we have is,
Yes.
for example, for a student who is coming our class slots, right? So that's where they're coming from. Now, if it's, however, so for example, if it's a 30-minute class, the design will remain the same.
Okay.
15-minute class, then we will adjust some of the design, like, but we'll try to reuse as much as possible, if not most of it, inshallah. So for
Okay.
example, if
Okay.
it's 15 minutes drop-in class, then we may not do a whole about you section as long as the one that we have right now. It may be
Okay.
much
Okay.
shorter. I'm
Okay. I
saying
understand.
much smaller and compact. But
I
we'll try
understand.
to keep the same flows. The flows are going to be like kind of parallel flows.
Okay. So we might add a screen before that, right? Before the about you, right? Kind of like after the registration, we might add a screen. Is it what the plan is now?
No, we won't. So
Okay.
imagine
So
the website, right?
yeah, yeah,
So let's say on the website there are three products. Okay.
yeah,
So 30-minute, 1 hour,
yeah.
50.
Okay.
Student selects, I want to go into the 30-minute product. Okay. Now the
Okay.
system knows this product, right? And then once they make the account, system takes them for that product specifically.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Does
So
that
it
make
is
sense?
basically based on the link they have selected to register, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. 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 No. 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 Sorry. Understood.
Right. And then, for example, if students come in for webinars or let's say university style classes, then we are not going to do the same thing. We'll have a slightly different, because that's not mostly scheduling, so that would be just a small amount of it will be scheduling. It's just payment. So it's just doing payment processing. It's straightforward payment processing, and then students go into their sections of resources and all
Okay.
that
Very good.
separately, right? So there's not much scheduling function there. But the scheduling function is there for the different variation in time. That's the scheduling section. And then um, the other thing for which the scheduling would be, for example, is for a trial class. When you offer free or a $5 trial class, for example, for a specific time, again, student comes from a link, and then we design a flow. And then in that flow, the student either pays or does not pay, and then selects from the same available times of the teachers, and moves on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 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 Yes, of course. Yes.
So that's the difference. So we're not changing. How do I say it? Like uh, anything per se, but it's just I think the way you
The
structure.
data structure. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
my only concern is it going to affect the MVP? I mean, like how far it's going, how bad it's going to affect the MVP. That's the kind of thing I had in mind. So MVP, we wanted to we get it done quickly, right? So
yeah. So I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know. Akhi, I don't know. So that's something inshallah
yeah.
you could advise us on. But for now, like I think if we if you keep it, if we can keep it in mind.
Okay,
And
okay, inshallah. Okay.
then and then we can adjust it later if that's what.
So basically, what I'm understanding from you is for the MVP, we just look at the business logic portion of it, what you're going to
Yeah.
propose now, the newly, and we just adjust the business logic and the data structure, show it so it suits the longer way. And so it basically, actually, we build the system accordingly. Basically, after the MVP, we will do all the other products, right? That's what
Yes,
I mean.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay, Alhamdulillah, okay, Alhamdulillah. It should be fine. Yeah, just jot down the business logic and documents whatever you're creating, and then send it to us. So I will analyze it and then give you answer, inshallah,
Yeah,
as soon as
inshallah. So
possible.
I'm working on it, and I worked on it today and yesterday. I'm trying to see, because it's a because right before I had done the scheduling business rules and logic one way, right now I have to kind of
Right,
rethink,
right. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Because in
yeah.
terms of data structure and how it's going to work, so I'm having to rethink it. So I readjusted this, but it's
We
not
just
fully.
want you just wanted to help you out. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, when you I saw your a lot of documentation. You're writing too much actually. So don't take me wrong on whatever I'm saying. Don't take me wrong on. So it's like too much of verbose. You can also minimize it by somehow giving the definitions of what you are talking about, making table. I just want to make your life easier.
Yeah. So
We can understand things, and your work could actually get down if you have tables. If you jot instead of writing too much verbose, you could have tables, maybe tables and some kind of definitions. this and that. If it can help you, that is also okay for us. Instead of writing too much, because I see that,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, you write a lot, Alhamdulillah, you're right with very good. I'm not
No, no, no,
criticizing on
no,
it.
no,
Just
no.
want, I just wanted to make your life easier.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know
Jazakallah khair.
you don't, you don't, you,
Identified a
no,
good.
you don't need to think actually too much from our point of view. What if I write something, they will take it wrongly. So let me write as much as possible so that not to confuse the developers.
Yeah,
Instead, it could even take an approach of explaining us from the table point of view. Table, if you just use some tables and this and that, or some definitions and all, then put down whatever the logic in a as simple as way as possible. Because actually, if we're going to have anyway, we're going to have this kind of meetings actually, this kind of meetings
yeah.
where we review your documents. So the meetings can fill up the blanks, and the fill up, if we in case understood wrongly, the meetings can clarify those things. Meetings and our demos and all our sprint reviews can also clarify things. So I don't want you to work too much upfront. That's what I'm just want to do.
Now, Jazakallah khair. Let me admit to you one of my shortcomings or weaknesses. I have the weakness of writing a lot or talking a lot. So this is
Mashallah, that's good.
something. This is a personal weakness that I have. In fact, when I was in university, two of my friends, they were dedicated editors for me for my essays because I used to write too much. Right? If there was 4,000 word limit, I would write 6,000 words. It's just I have. So it's a classic problem that I have. Uh,
Okay.
and we are also experiencing it, unfortunately. So forgive me for it.
Or me actually, it's other. No, I'm opposite to you. In a way, I'm other.
I'll- yeah.
I do as less. I do less writing actually as possible.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
please continue. Yes.
Okay, fine.
Continue.
So that's the overall summary of the scheduling slash calendar. So in essence, for this, nothing would change essentially, but it just you might have to make some adjustments to the data structures and business logic. So that's about it, right? Inshallah.
Okay,
Now,
Alhamdulillah, inshallah, very good.
I wanted to
Got it.
discuss next, if you don't mind, the parent and the child account scenarios.
Yeah, sure, please, yes, please.
So
Please go ahead.
now, the document I share or the table I shared with you, I'm trying to do the tables for you just to kind of make things organized better. Because I noticed that, mashallah, you like to use tables and things like that. So I'm trying to do it. Um, Now, when a user comes, I'll give you a use case scenario. When, let's say, I come to the Tanzil website as a parent, initially what happens is generally I want to sign up for for a child, right? Now, children under 13 generally they don't have email accounts and things like that, right? So I have to use my email account for it. So I make an account and then the system asks me, are you registering for a child? I say, yeah, I'm registering for a child. And then I give my child's information and then I select the schedule for my child, make payment and all that. Now, initially, I don't know if you recall, we had this discussion very early on and probably sprint 2 or something like that about using a user ID for children.
Yes, yes, correct. Yes, I can recall. I can recall.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
the
recall.
idea was that because children, we also don't want children to log in using parents' email address because we don't want children to make changes to the account. For example, certain changes like change the schedule, for example, or cancel classes. It has to be the parent account that kind of does that, right? And also, parents might not want to give children those options either as well, right? Parents might
Yeah,
be interested in just getting the children into the account, and when you have the classroom integrated, just to go to class, right? Click on a link, go to the
yeah,
classroom, finish class, do the homework, just like that, and parents will manage the account, right? Management will
Yes.
happen by the parents.
Correct.
So based on that, remember we discussed creating a user ID, whether it's 4 digits or 5 digits, for example.
Right.
Had the discussion, and and then eventually after some time we said, okay, maybe we'll do 5 digits, inshallah, and that probably is better. So the idea here we had is, so the account that's created, it's actually the owner is the parent. In terms of the user, what happens is uh, we would basically the child would become a automatically, right? And we create a user ID and password separately for the child, right? So the
Okay.
parent would make a user ID and password separately for the child, but we didn't want to create the registration process so long that the parent does it there. We wanted the parent to, go through the scheduling system, select the timings, make payment, finish that, and then go and add the information for the users. Does
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah, it makes
so?
sense. It means you want a kind of new screen or something after the review screen, after the
Yes,
review
yes.
and
So
payment is
there will be
finished,
like
after the
onboarding
complete.
screens.
Okay,
So
onboarding
if it
screen.
was
Yes.
a someone selected that I'm registering for a child, then they will see a specific message with the screen saying, please update, please create a user ID or and password for your child to log in. And then
Okay.
we'll have an explanation or something, and then they'll have to click on a link or something, and then they will be taken to the profile section. And then in the profile section, then they can create the password and the access for their children.
Okay. Fine.
So that was the idea. Now, obviously, I wanted to ask you is that whether we allow the parents to use, create a custom user ID, for example, like, how you create an email ID, like you go to gmail.com and Gmail asks you, okay, what's the email
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
account
Yeah.
you create,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, we
So
can do that.
whether we do that, for example, right, or we what we do is we can we just give them a number like the 5 digit number or something like that as an ID, and then say
Yeah.
this is the ID for this for your child, right? And then they can do that. Or it could be something simple as, for example, you know um, the issue is like if we were to do something like the last 4 or 5 digits of their phone number. Issue is when a parent has multiple children, then we're going to have to change that, right? So that logic would work. So we
Yeah,
need
actually, my feedback on this is we can make it simple as you want. Actually, if you like my feedback here, what
yes,
I would suggest is since we are already generating a student ID for the dependent,
yes,
for the student, parent student, as well as for the dependent, we are generating a 5 digit student ID.
okay,
So on the review page, we can add a section only if the parent student is actually registering or adding a dependent. We can add a small section and saying that, okay, here is the student ID, here is the user ID for your student name, let's say Ali Abdul Hassan. Okay, for
yeah,
Ali Abdul Had, okay, here is the student ID or the user ID, and
uh,
here is the generated password. We can generate some password, we can generate
okay,
some random password, or we can hard code an user friendly simple password to begin with, something
okay,
like whatever something initial password is, it can be generated or it can be hard coded password. We can show, okay, here is the user ID and password, and at the first login
mm,
we can ask them to reset the password, since actually we are kind of generating it. So generated password, it need not be reset, but if it's a hard coded password, we can ask them to reset. This will save you a screen. I mean, this
yeah,
will actually save some flow for you. You don't need to pop up a message and let them go to a new screen. All
okay,
that it can save, and we can use the same review screen. Just
yeah,
add one section, add somewhere at the end or middle
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
We can put, okay, here is the you have added a dependent, and here is a user ID and password for him, and that's it. So basically they will do the same if they want to log in as a student, sorry, if they want to log in as a dependent, they will
yeah,
use the same how the parents are logging in, same
yeah,
link they will use to log in. There they need to enter their student ID
yeah,
and the password, the generated password, and then from there we
okay,
can go from there based on your business logic. We could force them to reset the first time,
Yeah.
or it's up to you. Or if you want us to, whatever you wanted us to be, we can do from there.
Actually, I like that
What do
idea. I
what do you
like
think?
that idea. Now, my only question is, should we create something based on the child's name? Because a child is likely to be able to someone who is 6 to 12 years old can likely spell their name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right? And then, so if we have duplicates of the same name, then we just create like 1, 2, 3 as other numbers beside it or something. Instead of a number, giving them a number, I was wondering, do you think it might be better that we do the child's name and then a password, and then
Name is fine with me. Name is fine, absolutely. You need to decide first name, last name. Name is fine with me. And
name is,
last name may be a little more unique than the first name. You know that. There's,
yeah,
lots of
or
lots of
it could be like
Muhammad's
the first
Ahmad's.
letter of the first name and the last letter and the full last name or something like that, or
Yeah,
mixture.
fine with me as well. Yeah, that will be a little bit more unique. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we can do that. We can do the first letter of the first name and the entire last name, or whatever logic you want. I don't mind, but we can use the review screen to show that
Okay.
generated user ID. We can use the review screen to show, okay,
Yeah,
here is a generated user ID for
yeah.
your dependent to log in, and here is the generated password.
Yeah, and then I think like in terms of the password, we just say a message saying that you'll be able to change the password on the first login or something like that. So that, and then I like the option of forcing them to change the password after the log.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So
right.
that the phones
Yeah,
can
it's
see
up to
the
you. It's
password.
up to, yeah, we can do that also, but that's a little bit less secure. If you don't give them a password, and if you tell them your first login, we will force you to enter a password. That's
No,
like
no,
more
no. I mean, I
secure.
don't mean we don't give them a password. We do give them a password,
Oh, okay,
but it's a
okay.
temporary password, right?
Fine. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I said. It could be an hard coded password, or it could be a generated password, and we can
Okay.
force them to reset it on their
Okay.
first first login.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's final then, inshallah. So
Okay, sure.
we'll just do that. Now I have a question. Do you want me to update the design?
Yes,
Uh,
yes, and not the design from screen point of view, but I want you to write
okay.
some kind of comment or something. I don't know, maybe user story, a comment, whatever makes sense.
Okay.
Just add one section and then put it down in Jira, and just put down whatever you want to write, like the section name, the section header, the
Okay.
field, and the format, whatever you want to write, and business logic, whatever you want to write. Just put it down, like what we discussed, like now what we just discussed.
Yeah.
So will use that as actually final comments from you, and we will do it accordingly.
Okay. I will update it inshallah tomorrow, or I'll see it from tonight if I can. Uh,
Okay. Okay, very good. Alhamdulillah. That's good.
all right. So this is obviously going to be only for the student who selects that I'm registering for a child, or the user who
Yes, yes,
selects.
yes. Correct, correct, correct,
But the
correct.
user who does not select that I'm
Absolutely.
registering for a child, they
No,
don't.
yes, 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 yes. This new section will
Yeah.
appear dynamically only for the students who will be registering the dependent. If he's not registering a dependent, this section will not appear.
Okay, excellent. Tayyib, alhamdulillah. So we are then all set, inshallah. Now this would, so as you said, this creates two kind of separate accounts anyway. And then if the parent wants to add himself or herself as a student later on, we can also do that, right?
Yeah, of course, of course, of course, again.
All right. And then if they add other dependents, then that also is possible. Okay.
Yes, yes, right, right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Excellent. Jazakallah khair. So I like this. I actually think this is a better option, as you said, than to take them to another screen or something like that. This is a better option,
Yeah,
I think. And then,
sure.
and also we also send this information over the email as well.
Yeah, sure, of course, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, of course. We can add it to the email, and you can
Yeah.
also specify it on your comment or
Yeah.
note
Yeah.
you're going to create. Just also mention it. Yeah, we can do that. We are currently sending out, and basically a couple of emails we're sending, like
Yes.
student enrollment email. So basically, on the student enrollment email, we can you can add a
Okay.
section for
Yeah.
it.
So I'll just update the section as well.
Yeah, yes, please, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
See,
Excellent.
actually, see, basically, you need to update whatever you want for your own sakes, because these requirements are also acting for you as an historical record of all the
Yeah,
requirements documents. So you need to update for you. But for us, we just need something on the Jira. That's all enough for us. For us,
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
us, all we need. But for
So
you, you need to update all your
I'll,
internal documents wherever you want.
okay, yeah, inshallah. So I'll update it on the, because the email template document as well. I'll update it
Right,
there,
right, right.
and then I'll also create. I'll also comment on the summary page, for example,
Okay.
for this as well, and then I'll attach the email and the updated content to the.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, just want to make your work easier for us. For you, whatever you want to do internally, you do it. We don't care. We
Yeah,
don't mind. I mean, you understand, right? Because
okay.
actually, this hacks for you as a for the Tanzil, for the Tanzil application, which you are, mashallah, or the key person, helping us develop. So this you should have the log and history of all the documents clearly updated for your purpose, for your records.
Yeah,
But for
inshallah.
us, we just want the work to get done, and we don't want to make it a big scene that we should not demand update this, update that, update this. We should not. You can do it on your whenever time and whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want.
Okay,
And
inshallah.
we just want the work to actually come from you officially, as like what we already discussed through the Jira. Jira is the way how we get the work.
Yes.
So actually we know that it's coming from you, and we do it accordingly.
Okay, طيب, Jazakallah khair. So then next we move on to story number 173, if that's okay.
Yes, yes, of course, fine. Yeah, please go ahead. And yes, are you going to share the screen, or you want me to? Let me know.
Hold on. If you can open it on yours, that might be better. So
Okay,
maybe,
okay. Just give me a minute. No? Just 1 minute. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know if you can see my screen.
yeah, I can see your screen, no problem.
Okay, let me know. Can I scroll down, or
Yeah, yeah.
which
So
section?
we'll start from one, inshallah.
Okay,
Uh,
start from
okay.
number one. Okay, fine. Okay, go ahead.
So basically, previously, so this was something that I had to finalize with the team. Previously, we told you that the first class should be after 24 hours, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
By the
Right,
time they
right.
sign. Now, I had discussed with the team, and then we're divided into two camps. Some were
Okay,
like, yes, we do want it, but some are like, no. So eventually we agreed somewhere in the middle, I guess you could say, but not really in the middle. But people are saying, look, we should, if a student says they want to be able to take classes right after and there's a class available, why should we stop them, right? And
okay.
and so we thought, it might be also easier, because then with Stripe there was that issue of complication. So for example, let's say if I sign up on Sunday at 2 p.m., right, for a class on Sunday at 5 p.m. However, but if Stripe is going to charge me on the seventh day from
Yeah, yeah.
the time I sign up, by next Sunday at 2 p.m., I won't have taken the first class.
Right, right. Correct, correct,
So now that could be a problem, because we promised the student that
correct,
first class they
correct,
won't be charged until they take the class, but then now
correct.
they're charged.
Yes, yes.
So we need to solve that issue from a
Right, I agree.
customer satisfaction perspective. So we thought, okay, just let the students take the first class as soon
Okay.
as the next available slot is. So terms of
Okay, fine.
in terms
Yeah,
of
please.
like, so if I sign up at 4:15 p.m., I
Yeah,
can sign up for 5 p.m. class, but I can't sign up for 4 p.m. the same day, because 4 p.m. is a past time. But
yeah.
anytime from the time after the full hour slot, for example, for the hour-long class, I would be allowed to take that class, right? Now, obviously, as soon as I enroll, then basically the idea is, so there's a gap here, which is currently our teachers are not checking their schedule every single hour, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we would have
Correct.
to send notification to the teacher saying
Yes.
that you have a new student, please check your schedule, right? Or something like that.
Right.
And on the teacher's calendar, we wanted to show a way, and we discussed this before, show the teacher that this is a new student.
Right,
Um,
right. Of course,
maybe a
yes.
different color or a star or something,
Yeah.
something,
Yes.
right? To know that
Yes.
this is a new student, so the teacher takes action,
Yeah.
um, and goes to the class, right? The thing is, when we integrate the classroom, inshallah, then
Yeah.
teachers are going to be situated into their dashboard all the time. They are not going anywhere.
Right.
However, until we integrate the classroom, teachers are teaching through Skype or Zoom, you
Right.
know,
Right.
and they're doing it outside our website, right? So that's why it's not always, there's the time then teachers are not checking their email or things like that. But then the team is like, look, let us design with the teachers will be in the system, and then until the system is ready like that, we just make the teachers check email every hour. That's it. Or the
Okay.
system every hour, right? So I said, okay, fine. So that was a policy decision we had to make. So that's what I mentioned here.
Alhamdulillah, understood. Alhamdulillah, understood.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it can be easily accommodated, inshallah. Your point number one is understood. It can be easily accommodated, inshallah. No problem. And we can do it as soon as possible. Means we can implement it as soon as possible, inshallah.
okay, so 1 and 2 is basically what I explained now. Number 3 is, now we discussed this, when a student is taking multiple classes. So if a student takes one class single day, we said, okay, the first class, Stripe doesn't bill them until after the first class, giving the student an option to cancel the first class, right? Now, but for multiple classes, if I'm taking multiple classes, then what happens. So we said previously that Stripe doesn't give them a 7-day grace period, because within the 7 days, student could have multiple classes, and when in reality, we shouldn't allow them to take multiple classes without paying anything.
Right.
If maximum, we should allow them only one class. So the team asked a question, which is it possible that we Stripe basically tries to charge the student 24 hours after their first class
Okay.
if I'm taking multiple classes? So for example, if I'm taking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 p.m., Monday, 6 p.m., Tuesday, and then let's say 6 p.m. on or 5 p.m. on Wednesday, is it possible that Stripe on for my first class on Monday, Stripe doesn't charge me anything yet, because kind of gives me the option to try out Tanzil, and then
Yeah.
until my next class, I have the availability, like I'm able to cancel without paying anything. But if I don't cancel, I have to pay for all the classes. Um, now the question is, can Stripe dynamically, or I mean, obviously Stripe will charge based on your request. Are you able to set the business rule like that, that the system can do it, or is it only, if it's just one class, frequent, then we can do it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to understand. What you're saying is, if the student does not cancel within 24 hours from the first class, then the system bills the student in full for all the slots,
Not
in full for
necessarily
all the
24
slots.
hours, or by before the second class. If the system, let's say not 24, let's just say before the second class.
Okay, before the second class. Okay, just like the system allows the
Yeah.
student
So let's say if
taking.
I'm taking 3 classes until
Okay.
my second class, system doesn't bill me. But by the time my second class starts, or let's say by the time it's time for my second class, then the system bills me because I haven't canceled.
Yeah, student taking single class to take the first class without paying. If they don't cancel within the 7 day, then they get billed for the first class. But we have already charged, right? After the 24 hours before the second class, we have already charged them. Then why you're saying that if they don't cancel within 7 day, what is the meaning of it? They don't
Okay.
cancel within seven
So,
days, then
so
they will get billed for the first class as well. Because yeah, what is the meaning of this? I don't understand.
So basically, what it means is, okay. So when we said the first class is basically you don't get charged for it,
Correct.
meaning that the billing
You
happens.
don't you don't get charged immediately, right?
Yes, but you get
But you
charged
are
after.
being charged after like 24 hours or before the second class, right?
Yes.
Why? they have to cancel within 7 days? I don't understand.
No, no. Okay. So the idea is this. Okay, let me just start from the beginning. So let's say I'm a student. I come to Tanzil and I want to take one class a week only.
Okay.
I came through the advertisement that says, try the first class without making any payment, for example.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, basically, you have the time to cancel until
Seven.
7 days for
73.
you
Yeah.
to,
Correct.
not
Correct.
pay anything.
Correct.
But if
Correct.
you decide to continue, then you have to pay even for the
Yeah.
first,
Yeah. Correct.
right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
now,
That is.
yeah. So now what's happening is now this is just for one class, right?
Yes. Yes. Now for
It's
the
just
multiple
one class,
class. Yeah.
not multiple classes. But for multiple classes, the issue is if we say 7 days,
Okay.
the problem is within the 7 days, the student could be taking 3, 4 classes,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's too many free, quote unquote free classes that they can just go and then not pay for anything, and then
Right. Right.
they've taken the
Right.
teacher's time, not really useful for them or
Right.
us
Right. Right. That's
because
correct.
they're not making commitment. So then the question that the team has is, okay, is it possible that if I say, let's say, if I'm taking 3 classes and I want multiple days,
Okay.
my first class for until my first class happens, I don't get charged anything. Until my second class, I
Oh.
have the
Okay.
chance to
Okay.
cancel. If I don't cancel, then I get billed for my first class, second class, third class, and the rest of the month anyway.
Okay.
So that's the question that the team has: is that can the system, instead of the 7 day rule, can it be that until the second class, the system doesn't charge anything, but at the time of the second class, the system automatically bills the student
Yeah, automatically charge for all the slots or what?
all the
Or
slots?
the
Yeah.
second click? Okay, yes, it's possible. Of course, it's possible. So basically, what you're saying, let me recap. What you're saying is, for the first class, everything is same. For the first class, if the student signs up only for one class, the
Yes.
student signs up for only one class, then we are going to give him the grace period that he can pay. Basically, he will be charged. We will be giving him time for him to cancel for 7 days. If
Yes.
he does not cancel, then we charge him at the end of 7 days. That is fine. That I understood very clearly. No question about it. But if when he is doing the multiple classes,
Yes.
then we wait for one class to be complete, just kind of roughly 24 hours before the second class start. That time, since he did not cancel, so we go and charge him. We go
Yes.
and charge him. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's possible. It's possible for us.
Okay.
Possible we just need to change a little bit. We need to tweak our code. That's all. We need to tweak our code. Suppose I was just thinking that I was thinking a little bit wrongly in the beginning, but I thought that you want to keep one class free for a week and the rest of the class on the multiple class on the multiple slots on the multiple slots scenario. I was
Yeah.
thinking that you want to the rest of the class you want to charge immediately, but one class you want to leave it for 7 days grace period. It's not like that, right? It's not
No,
like that.
no, it's not like that.
Fine,
Like,
fine,
yeah.
fine.
So the first
I
class is
understand.
not really free. It's just that we don't
Yeah,
believe it, and we give you time to make up your mind,
correct.
finalize your mind.
Right, right.
If
Okay, I
you decide
understood.
to continue, then you get charged for it. If you don't decide to continue, then we don't charge you for it.
Yeah, it can be done, but right now what we are doing, as you know already, right now
Yeah.
what we are doing is, if it is multiple class, we are actually making them pay immediately. Making them pay. We are charging them immediately, right? We're charging them immediately. You don't want that now, right? You
No,
instead that you want the system to wait for a day and then charge them before the second class, right? That's what you want, right?
not necessarily a day. So, for example, I could sign up. To give an example, I could sign up today, which is, let's say, Monday India
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
9:30 a.m. right now. For example,
yeah. Okay,
now my first class is on Wednesday.
okay,
Okay, and my
okay.
second class is on Friday,
Right.
and then my third class is on Saturday.
Yeah,
Now, until next Monday, I have 3 classes,
yeah.
but my
Correct.
first class is not within 24 hours, or
Yeah,
my second class is not within even 24 hours from the first class.
yeah. Correct.
Second class
Correct.
is on, on Friday, for example.
Yeah.
So what happens is the system should bill me on Friday by my second class time. If I haven't canceled by that time, the
Yeah.
system should charge me at that time, not
Okay.
necessarily on Tuesday.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not the 24 hours
No.
from the time of registration. Sorry. It's not the 24 hours from the time of enrollment, but it
No.
is basically kind of 24 hours after the first class has been taken, right?
It could be 24 hours or it could be more.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
before the
fine.
second class, basically. By
Before the
the
second class, okay, before the second class. So we let him basically. In any case, what I'm trying to understand from is, in
yeah.
any case, we let him. We don't charge him until he takes the first class. That's what you're saying, right? We don't charge him
No.
until he takes the first class. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. But by the time the second class comes, if it's, let's say, 5 p.m. now, and this is the time for the second class, boom, the system builds.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm also understanding. So for the first class, we don't charge him. Even if it's a multiple class scenario, we don't charge him for the first class.
Yeah.
Before the second class, we charge him. That's what you're saying, right? If you
Yeah.
don't cancel. Okay, fine,
But
very good. Understood.
but
Yes, please.
when we're charging him, we're also charging him for the first class as well, right? Because
Yeah,
he.
of course. Yeah, when we charge him, we charge him. Basically, how we are, how we are charging currently. I know that you know that, but let me repeat. How we are charging currently is we are charging for the prorated for that month. Okay,
Yes.
all the time slot prorated for that month we're charging.
Yes.
Just I want to let you know one more thing. One more thing. I say this may not practically happen, but if there is any due amount, also we are also charging at the same time. If there is any due,
Mm.
any debt or due, also we are charging. When
Okay.
this will happen, let me a little bit give you a kind of wild imagination. So this, for example, if a student has enrolled, let's say for like one time slot on, let's say on the month of November, right? Whatever. Today, yes, he has enrolled for a one time slot, and it is so we are going to charge him prorated for this month. That's fine. And the next month, on the month of December, if he enrolls for another class, for example, then we see if there's a debt for him from the previous, since he signed up for one time slot for a Monday on November 6th. So that is a debt due for the December. We need to bill him plus along with this new class. So we're going to bill him for both now. Just want to let you know.
Okay. Okay.
We're also taking care. We also have in mind the debt. We also look at the debt what he has to the system to the Tanzim. Basically, we charge at one shot instead of making multiple transactions. We try
Yeah.
to charge him at one shot. That's what I'm trying to emphasize.
Okay. I see. That's
Okay.
fine, inshallah.
Okay, fine, Ahmed, sir.
Um.
Testing should be very, very solid, yeah. In this case, the testing, whatever scenarios your testing team is making, I would really, really appreciate if you can also send us back those scenarios. See, like last time you sent us that scenarios, it was very, very useful, very, very
Okay.
useful. So because actually, I give those scenarios to our team for them. Test as well. Test as well. So
Yeah.
actually, if your team is making some scenarios for the payment for whatever it is, ask them to send it to us also. So we test it here so that to minimize the bug fixing and the time it takes actually.
Yeah.
To minimize the time on the round trips for you to report the bugs and we to fix.
Yeah.
Try to do
Inshallah.
as much as we can
I'm
from our
hoping
end.
we get better at this. I'm hoping, as you know, the issue is we've been behind on testing because
Okay.
we've been looking for people, and then uh, so
Okay.
the team has captured some of the errors on the Excel document. I don't know if you had gone through or something like that, but the issue is like I have to review the test documents as well. The sister who is doing it, mashallah, she's doing a good job. And then I shared the notes last time that I shared with you. I shared them with her as well, and then I told her to listen to the meetings. That's why we record the meetings, so that she can listen and watch the meetings, and then inshallah she does the test case scenarios, and then she does them. But I will, inshallah, alhamdulillah, Hussam is now back, very active as well, alhamdulillah. So I'm hoping, inshallah, with Hussam as well, we will get more testing done and
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
be able to be more proactive, inshallah. So,
Very good. Very
inshallah,
good.
I will share them with you, inshallah, once um, uh, this things kind of gets implemented. Then, inshallah, I will do.
Hussam is alhamdulillah doing real good job. So take him for lunch often from my side.
So, Jazakallah khair. Number 4. So this the number 4 is about the search result essentially. Now we basically decided to make things simpler, and we will remove the tafsir option, advanced tafsir option altogether. Okay.
Okay.
From the student enrollment, where it says uh, your learning objectives for the student. So we will remove tafsir option altogether, and then from the teachers, we will also remove advanced tafsir option as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll remove that so that the loose search becomes very much easier. The only two restrictions would be the child, so 6 to 12, for example, and then the other one is novice, someone who said they can't read. So the idea is we don't want a teacher who's not specialized in teaching children or teaching novices, people who can't read, to teach them, because that's going to end up in bad experience. And then we don't really want people to have bad experiences with the Quran, especially as you might know, like a lot of people have bad memories of their Quran teachers beating them and not really building a healthy relationship with the Quran. So we are not, we don't like that idea of teachers having bad akhlaq or not being ready for a student. So we would rather not teach those students from our
Okay. Okay.
perspective, because we have some teachers that don't prefer to teach children, and teaching young children over the internet is a special skill, I think.
Yeah. 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 I
Not
agree.
a lot of
Agree.
teachers have. In person is a different thing, but
Right.
over the internet it's also very difficult. So for that reason, basically, we will have those two as hard parameters. So number 4 and 6 are kind of together. Number 5, I'll come back to it, but uh, so that's the idea, right? And we'll inshallah move on with that. And then we had a question. The team had a question, a set of questions for you, which is really interesting. The idea was: is it possible to have rankings of strengths for teachers? So
Ranking of strength.
strengths, like teachers have strengths. So for example, advanced tajweed,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and tafsir or memorization and things like that. The question is it possible for us to rank the skill of the teacher on a
Yeah.
scale of 1 to 10 or 100, for example, and then based on what the student selects? For example, let's say the student selects only that they want to study advanced tajweed, and then if we have two teachers who are, let's say, 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100 on advanced tajweed, for example, then the
Okay.
system kind of ranks them first and then assigns one of them if it's for one day, for example, or if it's for multiple day, and then ranks those teachers higher in the search result, as opposed to like, I understand some sort of ranking is happening at the back end anyway, but the question is it possible for us to put the ranking when we're creating the teacher profiles, and the system calibrates the results accordingly?
Yeah, right now we are using this least utilization logic, right? Least
Yes,
utilization logic. So
yes.
is it going to end? Is this what you're saying? Is an we need to add it along with it, or is this will
Yeah, so it
replace
would
it?
be along with it. Yeah, it would be along with
Along with it, fine, fine. Then we can do it. If there are like two teachers matching, then yeah, of course, yeah, we can use this along with it. Yeah, of course, inshallah, we can do it.
it.
But
Okay,
I need to
so,
think a little bit over it, a little bit. I think a little bit over it, and then ask you if there is any questions on this.
okay, all right. I'll also try to think about the scenarios and ranking, and I'll try to
Okay.
create a chart or something.
Okay, fine. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, and so that's about it. And then number 5. So our student team had a basically recommendation for the time zones, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what we wanted is something that is a little bit more user friendly for students to
yeah.
see,
Of course. Yeah, we can
right?
do that. Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, I
so
asked
if,
what is the name? Yeah, Hussam also on this, whatever his recommendation, and yeah, we
so
can
we have
use.
something that is currently used, and our team feels pretty good about it. So if you can
Okay, no,
open
no,
the
yeah, we
link.
can do the same thing. Yeah, we can do the same thing. I just need to take a look at this list. This list, I just need to take a look at
Yeah.
it. Look at it. Is it actually taking care of DST or not? I don't know. Is this
So
taking
the
care of DST?
brother, yeah, so he says it's taking care of DST as well.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know the backend code, but this is the front end what the user sees, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you
I know.
go
I
to
know.
the link, you will see on the time zone, you'll see the list.
Yeah. On the
It's a long list,
it is the
but
link, is it?
it's something easy for the user to use.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where is the link? You said the link to which link you're talking about? Which link you're talking about? Is it the link you're seeing now on my shared screen or something else? Hello? Hello, I'm not able to hear you. Hello, I'm not hearing you. Tanvir, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, yes. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear it. I can hear it. Please continue. So I can share my screen. Just a minute, I will share my screen. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. So we're talking about the time zone. Time zone, you said there is a link. I was asking you, is this
Yes.
link you're talking about, this learning zone.tanzil.org registration, is it the link you're talking about?
So it's the link that we have currently, and basically, where the list of time zones are there. Um,
Uh, uh, so, okay, is this the link you're talking about?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, the only issue will be, is this link optimized for DST? I don't know. I need to check. If it is optimized for DST, fine, alhamdulillah, fantastic. So we can use this link. So
From
let me
from
check.
what we
Sorry.
know, it works fine with DST. This is what.
Okay, then we'll use it. Then we will use it. No problem. Then we will use this link.
And then the question is, do you need like the back code or something like
No,
that?
no. We can take it very easily. So if you can say, I just say view page source, we should be able to get the code. Let me see. India, everything should be there. So the India is coming. India, Bihar, Patna is coming. Yeah. We can get the code from here. It's not a big deal. We can take the code from here, and then we can change it to whatever we want. We can reformat it to the way we want. So it's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, we can take it from here, inshallah.
So the reason why the team prefers this is because this has more cities list worldwide, and then people are
Yeah,
likely to be able to,
Yeah, actually, wait a minute. If they have, in case for each of this corresponding value, let's say India, Bihar, part, each of this corresponding value on this time zone list, if they have the corresponding GMT value, that will help us. If they have, because we need to research, because this each and everything may not be found from our database, which we have access to. So if they have a GMT equivalent for each of this, then it can help us. It can save our time a little bit.
Yeah. So we asked the brother for the code.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're basically waiting for him to reply.
Okay. When you ask him along with GMT. Ask him to give us these time zones along with the GMT. This code itself, we have it. We don't want him to send this code to us. We
Yeah.
already have it now. So because we can access it. The only thing we need is each one of this in their database will be corresponding to a particular GMT or UTC. GMT or UTC. We want
Yes.
that string. We want that GMT string if possible. Otherwise, we can research and get it out ourselves, just to save our time a little bit.
Okay. All right. So
Okay. Okay,
if you
inshallah. Please
want
continue.
the GMT or UTC
Yes.
times
Correct.
associated with the cities, right?
Yes. Correct. Yes. Each one of this on the drop down will have a corresponding entry with GMT, GMT plus something, GMT plus 530, let's say, for India. So that is what we want. So with this, it'll just reduce our time a little bit. It will just save our time a little bit.
So it's what I noticed is similar to the one on timeanddate.com.
Oh,
Um,
really? Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
let me just send you the link here.
Yeah.
It's on the
Yeah.
legacy site of timeanddate.com.
Yeah, we also go to that site sometimes. Yeah, I know that site a little bit.
So I don't know if here they have inspect.
You're talking about this one, right? Talking about this one.
Yeah. So they have the same thing, but it doesn't look like on their page source. I don't see UTC or options. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, actually, It will be usually on the back end. Usually,
on the
they will
back end?
have an index. Yeah, they will have an index associated with it. The back end. Yeah, we can do our own research and get it. It's not a big deal, but I was just saying
Okay.
just to reduce the time.
Okay. So let me just send
See,
a
see,
message.
see, see, see. Yeah, see here what they're doing is a value. They're using a value as a key. Basically,
Yeah.
this the value of key 5425 whatever. This will be mapped to a this will be mapped to a value in the
Yeah.
database with the GMT, so with the GMT or UTC. It's okay if we can able to easily get it. Otherwise, we can find it ourselves. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So if we can able to find it, well and good. Otherwise, we'll do it ourselves. Not a problem.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I asked that I
Okay,
placed
okay, very
request.
good.
Hopefully, right.
Yeah, let's
Um,
continue then. Yeah, let's continue. Mhm.
so next is order summary. So basically, if you can open the image on the on Jira,
Again, sorry. Open what?
the image,
Open
there's
what?
an attachment image.
Yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Are you talking about not this one,
No,
not
no,
this
no.
one? No.
On from Jira, so I made an attachment on Jira.
Talking about it's for this
No,
one, this
no,
one.
on Jira, on Jira.
No, no, no. Anjira. Okay, okay, wait. Anjira. Okay.
If you go down,
Yeah. I can see. Yeah, review dot JPEG. Yes, it's opening. Just a minute. Okay. Open with. Okay. Still not displayed on my PC. Still waiting for something. I don't know. Probably I need to save it. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, it came now. It came now. Came now.
so
Let
if
me zoom it
you,
up. Let me zoom. Yeah. Yeah. I zoomed it. See if you can able to see it.
so, there's few change requests we have here. So
Okay.
one is the text on update. What's your location? If you go up a little bit,
Yeah. What's the location? Yeah.
so you want to update it to what's your time zone.
Okay. Fine.
And then secondly, we have is this on the schedule section.
Yeah.
So where it says your class is every week on this day, and then underneath that we want to have a line that says your first class
Okay.
on.
That's very easy. Yeah. That's very easy. Okay. What else? That's
And then
fine.
if you go down on the summary of charges,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically we want to reformat this section because remember last time we discussed the different scenarios.
Yeah.
Um, the fee coming out, for example, like that. So here, basically, what would happen is the summary of charges, the same heading remains. Inside it, you have this content. So subscription summary, and then it says monthly subscription. So this is just if I selected one class, it would be $20. Let's say if I selected two classes, it's $40.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
And then due on this date. So this basically tells the person what's due on what date. So for example, after
Okay.
the first class, for example, let's say today I sign up, my first class is on Wednesday, for example, but
Yeah.
it will tell me that next Monday at 8, let's say next Monday, I would be billed, let's say for this month,
Yeah. Okay. I
for the
understand. I
beginning of the
understand.
month, we still have 5 classes, so $25 or something like that, right?
I understand. Okay.
And then you have the donation section. So we basically separated the two because I remember you said the donation
Fine. Alhamdulillah. Very good.
right? And then
Very good. No problem. Yes, please.
so the donation, if it's one time or recurring, so that's automatically, it should be auto populated if it's one time or recurring based on what the user selected,
Okay.
right? And then, so if the user selected recurring $10 every month, for example, right, then it should
Yeah.
be recurring 10, right? And then it should say build now. So the build now is the donation amount is billed right away. We're not
Right.
waiting for
Right.
7 days to,
Exactly. Right.
right?
You're right. Right.
Yeah. So we can just say build now and then the
Okay.
start amount, and that's it.
Okay. Fine. Very good. No problem. Absolutely fine. Let me start
So
now.
this way we can take care of all the scenarios in terms of whatever the combination, one class, no donation, or one class with donation, or more than one class, no donation, or more than one class with donation,
Yeah, of course. Of
and
course. Yeah. They will take care of all that. Yeah. Sure.
and if we apply the rule of multiple classes that I get billed after the on the day of the second class,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that also gets calculated
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything comes in.
That will change the date. Yeah. That will change the date. Yes.
Okay, so that's the next item, I guess.
Okay.
And then we have what do we have here? So the order summary is there, and then miscellaneous changes. Okay,
Great.
that's done. Failed payments. We had a question. So when failed payments happen, I remember we discussed this. So we said every first of the month, system tries to bill. If the system couldn't bill the student, let's say the credit card didn't go through, then the system will try when again on the seventh day or the third day or something.
Yeah. Actually, we had the grace period of 7 days.
7 days. Okay.
So if a payment fails, we wait for 7 day. Actually, the system will automatically log or mark or save that failed on the database, and then actually we have a scheduler process which automatically starts exactly about to expire exactly the 1 hour before the about to expire time. I mean, like 1 hour before the 1 week time period we give them, 1 hour before the grace period we give them. It will go and try to bill again. It will try to charge again, assuming that the student have changed the credit card, debit card information,
Hmm.
or whatever. Assuming that whatever reason it failed, assuming that he has addressed the issue, we go and charge again.
So,
If it Sorry.
do you remember we discussed about 2 weeks when the system would remove the student from the schedule?
Yeah. I also have that logic of removing. I don't remember exactly how it is doing it now. How it is removing. I need to check. I need to check how it is removing. Yeah,
Okay,
you can. You can
so
remind me. You can remind me.
idea
Tell me.
was on the 14th day the system can try
Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. On
And
14th day.
then
Yes. Tell
basically
me.
it goes and removes the student from the schedule.
Yeah. Correct, correct. Yeah, correct. I think. Yeah, I think I have something like that. You let me go and check like what I'm doing exactly.
Okay. All right. So if you can just confirm, inshallah, we just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
inshallah.
If we have a minute, we can just wait for a minute, just a minute. Let's see if I can confirm immediately within a few seconds. Otherwise, we'll do it later. Then I will do it through the email. I have this scheduler here. Which will like show everything. What is it? Sorry, Tanzim scheduler. I have this over here.
MashaAllah.
Process
I,
the
you know,
process for
I have a lot of
sorry.
respect for software developers because
Alhamdulillah.
with all these complexities, MashaAllah.
Create create billing for debt. Remove unpaid service. So basically, remove all the teachers and student time slot. There are made payment made and success. Remove unpaid time slots after payment failure. Okay. So basically, yeah. Okay. So basically, what we are having actually, what we are doing is, yeah. Okay, no, I recall. Now I recall. So basically, what we are doing is 7 day grace period.
Yeah.
If the payment is failed, we wait for 7 days and check again if the payment is made or not.
Yes.
If the payment is made within that time period, we are fine. Everything is normal. If the payment is not made in 7 days, we go and remove the time slots physically. Is that what you want, or you want it to be like 14 days?
So the question we wanted 14 days basically. Here's the question I have. Now,
Yeah.
if I let's say my credit card changed, how do I
Okay.
go and change it? So I have to come to my account and update the credit card, right?
Right now, we
And
don't have a screen for them. Right now, we
right
don't
now
have
we
a
don't.
screen, but you need to
But
give a screen. Yeah, actually, it's
so that
possible for
does
us to. It's
yeah. So we
possible for
have
us
it
to give you a screen.
just so you know, we have it sketched out. I can share with you the flow. Inshallah, we have it sketched out.
Yeah, we need to.
So
Yeah, please tell me. We need to. Almost it should look like the billing info page. Only the first
yes,
part of the first portion of the billing info page.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what will happen is, so I can come and update my credit card. Now, if
Yes. Yes,
I
you can.
update my
Yes.
credit card, would the system automatically try to bill me again if I updated it?
Yeah, we can do that. Actually, if that is your business logic, we can do it. So we have the option to do it or not to do it. If you want us to do, we'll do it.
Because instead of waiting until the seventh
Yeah,
day,
yeah, of course, of
system
course.
could
Yeah, we
technically
should.
just
Yes,
charge me.
you're right. I think we should do it. We should do it. You're right. As soon as he changes, updates the credit card, debit card, we
Yeah,
go and see if there is any failed payment failures.
yeah.
If there is any payment failure or if there is any debt or due. Now, I don't know whether you want us to show him a screen saying that we are about to charge confirm or just charge automatically. That I need to know from you.
So the system should just, I think, like just charge automatically because the student has given
We have
permission.
already, yes, of course, we already sent them the emails notification already done. Yes, you're right. We can do that.
Exactly. Everything is done.
Yeah,
Students has been warned and everything. Now, let's say
yeah,
I come and do it. Now, then the system charged me. But if I don't come and
yeah.
do it, then system tries to charge me again, but then it fails again. And then on the
Uh,
14th
yes.
day,
Okay.
and then let's say 7 days more pass, I still don't update it. And the
Okay.
14th day, if I don't update, then the system basically removes me, right?
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Or can it be that on the 14th day, system tries again, and if it fails,
Yeah.
then then I'm removed.
Yeah. Just I wanted to check with you. We are not trying to charge again. We are doing the charge again only at the beginning of every month. We're not
Yes.
charging again for the failed payments. We are not trying to charge again. We are only seeing we are only checking if the student have charged or I mean if the student have paid or not. What you said just now, like
But how would the student
this
pay?
screen, we are going to add a new screen. Sorry,
If
sorry.
the student's payment, if my payment failed, how would I pay?
Yeah, if your payment failed, there is a reason why it failed, right? There is a reason why it failed. So probably your card you have used might have expired
Cancelled or
or
expired?
cancelled, expired or something like that, right? So basically, you need to go to this new screen. You need to go to this new screen which we are going to design.
Yeah.
In the new screen, you need to say, okay, I want to update my credit card, debit card.
Yes.
So when you update the credit card, debit card, at that time we automatically charge if there is a due, if there is a pending, if there's a
Okay.
failed payment, we go and automatically charge.
Okay.
And if there is nothing, if there is nothing to charge, he is all intact. Means if there is no due on him, then we will not charge.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
this the process of the failed process, this process the scheduler, it will automatically check after the 7 days if the payment is resolved or not, if the payment issue is resolved or not. Is this time slots are being paid or not? If they are paid, fine, well and good. If they are not paid, then it will remove him. It will remove him physically.
Okay.
So basically, I
So
want to know. So we're doing
all the
7 day
student
right
has
now.
to
We're doing
do is
7 day.
come and
Sorry.
update their credit card on their account. That's all they have to do.
Yes, exactly, exactly, exactly.
And
All
when
the
they do it, then the
yeah,
system,
will
if they're
automatically charge.
overdue, then system charges them. If they're
Automatically,
not
yes.
due, then system doesn't charge them anything.
Correct, correct, exactly.
And
Okay.
if they don't do it by 14th day, then boom, they're off the
Yeah,
schedule.
right now I have it like for it's 7 day. It's a 7 day actually, as you can see here. If you want me to increase it to 14 days, I can increase it
Yeah.
to 14.
If the system can check it, so the question we had was,
Yeah.
like, if is it possible, for
Yes.
example, for us to create a reminder email system or something to the user,
Yeah. Yes. It's possible. Possible. Tell me. It's possible.
saying that, okay, your payment has failed, please update
Yeah.
your credit card on your account, blah blah blah. So can we create something like that?
Yeah,
Should
we
we?
can do it. So basically, what you're saying is after 7 days, send them an email, right? And then after 14 days, go and remove them physically. Is it what do you say? What are you saying?
Well, when does, first of all, when here's the question: when the payment fails, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Will Stripe send out an email saying your payment has failed?
I don't know what Stripe does, but actually, we are doing it. We are doing it. I don't
Okay,
know what
when you send
Stripe
an
sends an email or not, but actually, our system will send out an email that the payment has been failed.
okay, okay, and
And in
then,
that email it will have some text will be there that you need to pay within 7 days. If you don't pay within 7 days, you will be physically out from, means physically your time slots will be unrolled, unenrolled. Physically your time slots will be unenrolled, and but you can pay and try to get those time slots before some other students takes it. So we'll have some message like that. So what I'm saying is we are doing it on the 7th day right now. On the 7th day. If you want us to increase to 14 days, or you want to show a warning message on 7th day and remove physically 14 day, we can do that. We just need to update the code.
yeah, so we want to remove on the 14th day, inshallah.
Okay, fine, fine.
And however, we want to give, so there are two things we want to do with the student, which is we want to give them notification in the system, and we
Okay.
also want to send them email.
Okay. So basically, you want us to give them another warning at the end of 7 days,
Yeah,
and then on the 14th day we just remove it. Right. That's what you're saying, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, we can do that.
And then at that time, we just send a message: you have been removed from the schedule because you have failed to make payments.
This, if you can add one small comment for us, it will be good. This what we just discussed.
Yeah.
Add one small comment so we know that it's officially coming from you. I
Okay.
don't want to change myself on my own. Then I will be responsible for it.
Okay. All right.
Or if you want, if it is like too much technical for you, I can also add that comment. It's not a problem. On
Yeah,
your
you
behalf,
can
I can
add it,
also add a
inshallah.
comment.
I'll just review it. But it's just for me,
Yeah.
I'll have to do it tomorrow because,
Yeah. Sure. Sure. No problem. No problem.
yeah, inshallah.
No problem.
Okay. طيب, next question. So it's a little bit connected to refunds. I just put it there, but just even though we haven't come to that module yet, it's just for your information, inshallah, you can use it. But one question our team had is, if at any time we want to issue refunds to students, do we have to go to Stripe to do it, or can we do it from our system as well?
Refunds. See, refunds. We can also see refunds. I need to check. Actually, I need to check. Actually, to answer this question, I need to check the Stripe API. Whether we can do it from our side. I believe that actually we can do from our side, but I need to go and check the API again. But
Okay.
actually, what we are doing now is whenever we are doing a charge, the Stripe gives us back a charge ID. That charge ID is getting saved in our database already.
Okay.
So with this, using this charge ID, I need to check if the API allows me to do a refund.
Okay. Right.
I
Uh,
need to, I need to, I need to check it. I need to check.
okay, inshallah. The next one is Metronic theme update.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
theme has an update. I don't know if you want to look at it, install it, or something. I just wanted to bring that up. Uh,
Sure, sure, of course. Yeah, we'll take a look on that. We'll take a look.
so I believe you have the files. Sorry, my login details.
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah,
Check it
I
out.
think
Inshallah,
we
I
have
can
it.
do it,
Yeah, I
and
think,
I can
yeah,
do
I think we have it.
The next one is a little bit, it's not technical or anything, but basically on the, let, on the um, let me just, 1 second. Let me just try to load my screen and then I'll share with you what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'm trying to load. Um, but essentially, what we wanted is the formatting or styling issue. On the scheduling page where it says times are in, and then there's a drop down, and users can select and then the schedule changes according to the time zone they selected.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
so the drop down, the style of the drop down, we want it to be similar to the one that is
Style guide.
in the about you section.
Oh, okay. In the about you section. Oh, okay. Okay.
The format and the thing of it, that's all right. Not the content. The content, obviously, inshallah, we're updating it based on. So let me show you.
Are you referring to the drop down on the single schedule and multiple schedule? Is that the drop you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. So let me
Ah,
just.
okay.
Do my
Yeah, sure, of course. Mashallah. तो school है तुला. अच्छा. Sorry for that. Sorry for that.
No problem, Akhi. So you see this
Yes,
style,
please.
like
Yeah.
the box, the outline of the thing and things like that.
Yeah. Of course.
So basically, we just wanted
The same styling in that page where the single. Yeah, I understand now.
because that one I think for some reason is a little bit narrow.
Yeah. Okay, I would agree with you. Yeah. No issues for us, inshallah. No issues.
Here it's a little bit narrow, so
Okay, fine, no problem.
it'd be better if it's like a little bit bigger.
It's the same. Okay, sure. We can do that easily.
And just so you know, the team decided that they want to keep this because they think it's useful, because most of the time people are wondering what time zone they're looking at. So they thought it's useful to keep
They can
it.
understand. Sure, of course, no problem. Okay, very good.
So that's about it. That just brings us to the last point here.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. We did cover a lot, Alhamdulillah. So make sure you update the Jira, whatever we talked about accordingly.
Yes.
And whatever notes I have taken, let me work on those, inshallah.
Yeah. Okay, inshallah. So I have to update Jira on the failed payments, and what was the other thing? Sorry.
What are the other things I have not taken?
Okay. So the parent, yes, the parent.
Yeah. Correct. On the parent section, on the review screen, you need to add a section where we show the generated user ID and password for the student to log in, for the dependent to log in, and he will be forced to reset the password the first time. That you need to update.
Okay. All right. So I have a document where I'm trying to take notes and keep things organized, inshallah.
Yeah. Also on the payment, I think. I think also on the failed payment, right? Also failed payment. Actually, we just discussed, right?
Yes. I have that. Yeah, I have that.
7 days we will show them a warning, and 14 days we will remove them.
Yeah. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay, Akhi. Jazakallah khair, inshallah. I'll message you, inshallah, if we're meeting tomorrow night, but we'll definitely try to have that done, inshallah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.